The Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you by folks who donate to patreon.com/JURY. Wink! We are back in the studio in Oakland, California. I'm on the mend. I am recovering. Please bear with me as I cough repeatedly during this podcast because it will happen. Consider it my homage to Kevin Smith. But to help ease me back into the JuRY podcast scheme of things, I had to recruit one of, I think you are the most frequent guest on the show.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think anybody else.
Because I'm your neighbor and not because I'm actually useful.
Also,
or
because there was a point in which I was doing the show and you were my roommate.
Ah, yeah, that helps.
That also probably aided in things.
Oh, right. You started it while we were roommates, right?
I started doing it more regularly when I moved to Oakland. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Brett the Amtrekker Roundsville, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is going to be a little bit more of a conversational show. But I got this brilliant idea. I had to call you over because I gotta and this isn't even like a crackpot idea.
Or so you would have me believe.
No,
I've only heard the setup. I have not heard the punchline. So I have no reason to believe that this isn't insanity.
Well, I mean, all right. So I have a lot of ideas. All right.
Yeah.
I'm an idea man, Michael.
Yeah.
But some of them I understand are not exactly standard issue.
Not mainstream.
They're not for, Pa Jones is going to go down to Ace Hardware and he needs himself an idea. None of that square Des Moines bullshit.
Here's the thing. You peddle black licorice jelly bellies, not Werther's Originals.
Exactly. I'm not quite wrapping my head around that. I find black licorice jelly beans to be maybe as boring as Werther's Originals.
Boring?
Yeah.
No. Boring is neither here nor there. There are some people that love black licorice jelly bellies,
is this a
and
racial
lots
thing?
of people that hate them. And then there are only people who really like Werther's Originals. Maybe they don't have them very often, but it's for the mainstream. We're talking mainstream idea versus like something that some people tolerate.
See, now I think the funny thing is that Werther's Originals and black licorice jelly beans, I could imagine being force-fed to you by your grandma. Depending on the taste of your grandma,
right,
she could be palming these fuckers off into your hand.
That's true. When I think of grandma candy, though, I think of the kind of candy that sits in a bowl for several years, and when you try to pull one out, when you finally get daring, they all come out of the bowl.
Chalky,
like bowl-shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they called?
I have no idea.
Mints?
I think they're called grandma candies.
Grandma candies?
Grandma candies, yeah. They're sold like that. Grandma candies.
Grandma candies.
Yeah.
What's the box look like?
It's a bowl shape. They actually come like that.
They sell it in the bowl.
Yeah, people think that it gets all gross and nasty, but it just comes that way.
Grandma candies.
Yeah.
Really fuck with them.
Grandma candies. Do you like your grandkids? Neither do we.
What if? Oh my God! So this is a whole different sight line that we're opening up here. Novelty jokes for the elderly to play on their grandkids.
Oh, that is good because kids are idiots.
Oh my God, they'll believe anything.
Yeah, so you get this built-in like idiocy that you get to have fun with all day long.
Yeah.
And you're the grandkid, so you don't care about how well they're raised. You don't care if they get the truth.
All right, a whole packet that proves, like indisputable proof, the Holocaust never happened.
That's what would you call this product?
Fooled them.
Fooled 'em.
It's a whole series. Right? Moon landing. Maybe I started off a little. I gave you the fastball right up front.
Yeah, that
right?
was pretty hardcore.
He's moon landing.
Uh-huh.
A whole big packet.
Yeah.
Right? I think it might be flat. Comes out. He's like, Grandma, how long has this been here? Oh, I don't know. A month or two?
I hit a speed bump and it's been making odd noises ever since.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like this fooled him. Novelty joke. So wait, all right, but what's the props for the kitchen burning down to ashes?
Gasoline, mostly. And a match. We'll give him 2 matches in case the first one doesn't work.
What if it's just here's a great fooldom.
Yeah.
Do you smell gas? Just a little incense or something that smells like gas.
Oh.
You just leave it on. Yeah. They come over to visit. It's like, Grandma, do you smell gas? It's like, no. I thought it was a skunk.
I do feel a little lightheaded. How do you feel?
Now, here's the problem.
Yeah.
We are dealing with a clientele that at some point will go senile.
Yes.
Right? So really all you're doing is muddying the waters.
Oh, for sure. You're making everyone's life more difficult.
Everyone's
in the long
life.
Term.
But in your golden years, you are definitely getting a good ass laugh at your kids' expenses. They might have youth, but you have a good old belly chuckle at their expense.
I feel like there's a lot of, like, personally.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be a lot of value in me pretending I'm senile 10 to 15 years before it actually happens.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of mileage you can get out of everyone catering to your senility and kind of, like, tolerating all of the weirdness.
Well, I'm always a huge fan of just totally underselling.
Yeah.
Like when I'll go talk to people about what I do for a living with the Go game, I'll just be like party clown. I'm effectively a party clown.
Right. Yeah.
Like like the worst thing that you could think of. I'm corporate team leader. Think of the worst version of that. I'm that.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable doing that because I'm pretty sure I have a better job than you.
So this is the same move, but like it's all encompassing. You're fooling even your children and your grandchildren. So like 15 years before you think senility is gonna hit, that's when you start like buttoning your shirt wrong, putting your pants on backwards.
Question:
you're underselling your entire thought process.
Is Bernie Sanders trying to do this right now? Are we all like Bernie Sanders? Like Bernie Sanders showed up with his buttons unbuttoned. You wouldn't be like, oh wow, that's really weird for Bernie. You'd be like, but no, everybody looks at him. He's like, oh, he's too busy saving the country.
Yeah, super dedicated.
Yeah, maybe he's just either actually losing his marbles or he's trying to get that buffer.
Maybe
that sweet
that's
Bernie
the end
buffer.
Game. Maybe he doesn't want to be president. Maybe he's already CEO of Fooldom Inc.
Oh shit.
Conspiracy theory.
You can get your Fooldom series at fooldom.com. Did you see that? So did you see SNL?
I did.
I think this is the best political season that they've had since Farrell was doing Bush.
Since Farrell was doing Bush. So you didn't like the Sarah Palin stuff?
I wasn't a tremendous fan. I think that McKinnon's Hillary blows Pollars out of the water.
Yeah. And Larry Sanders' Bernie was great, but I felt like the rest of that skit felt really flat.
Yes. Including the Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
Like, which it's like, why make him the gay joke. Like, he's literally just there to move the rock, right? Like, so why give him all that business? Like, just make him regular Anderson Cooper.
I thought that was him trying to do regular Anderson Cooper. I didn't read that as a gay joke.
Well, but he did the like you know, I forget what abbreviation, like pre-sure, like, you know, like something like that.
Yeah, because gay people always abbreviate words. Is that what you're trying to say, JuRY?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. Is that what they do? Like,
if you abbreviate
they took
words,
Gaylord down to gay.
You know, like you do.
So
we haven't gotten to your pitch at all yet.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. But I loved that Larry David didn't try to do a Bernie Sanders impression and just did Larry David
Seinfeld
shtick.
impression.
Like, yeah, which is basically Larry David.
Yeah.
But I thought that was great. And I mean, I'm in love with McKinnon's Clinton.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's
the
my
only
point.
thing. The only thing that I don't love about McKinnon's Hillary Clinton is that it's also McKinnon's everything else.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
She does a lot of high-strung maniac, barely keeping it together.
Crazy eyes.
But Kristen Wiig was kind of like that too at the beginning, right? Like, she had to evolve past like everybody just being this like wobbly-armed cartoon character.
Yeah. That's probably true. I feel like McKinnon's been around the block for a little while already, though.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that whole crew has kind of been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
And really, yeah, I don't know if I wasn't a fan of the one dude's Lincoln Chafee.
No, I'm not a fan of Kyle Mooney in general. Like, he doesn't cream my cheese, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
He doesn't cream a cheese.
Is there something you want to tell everybody?
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, no, I thought that was great. And you know, who's doing Trump?
Taron Killam.
Is it good? I mean,
he nails the lips for sure.
Oh, the lips.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Trump is like
he's already a cartoon character. It's a lot like Sarah Palin, where you can use his own words and just say it loud enough, and you're doing a great Donald Trump impression.
Well, but the other problem is that like he's been so parodied for so long.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's running for president. Give us a fresh take on Michael Jackson, right? Like, that dude's been around for so long. Like, I definitely don't envy them trying to mine fresh territory on Donald Trump.
It's a little bit like Donald Trump is doing a Donald Trump impersonator impression. Like, we've gotten far enough out that it's a lot like Dana Carvey's Bush, where like everyone thought of real Bush as Dana Carvey's Bush, and I think everyone kind of thinks of Donald Trump as these years worth of impressions of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump keeps playing into that by being a cartoon character.
Oh, so you think he's influenced by the way people have thought about him?
I think even if he's not, he's so gregarious that he might as well be. Like, that would be the assumption you could make.
Well, and here's the other thing, is that we've never seen him speak off the cuff so often and so repeatedly.
Yeah.
And you're really picking up his crutches. Like,
huge.
Well, there's that. There's, and I'll promise you might get said 70 times in a Donald Trump stump speech. Yeah. Did I tell you that I had to watch? So I watched a bunch for The Contender.
Right.
His stump speech is basically his enemies list. He just lists off people that he doesn't like. I haven't seen one recently. Like, I saw like a bunch when he first started.
Yeah. But
it was just like NBC. Let me tell you something. And I know everybody at NBC. They're great guys. I've known them for years. And then he talks about, like, you know, they're dead to me. They're all dead. Yeah. You know, they took my thing off. Macy's. Can I tell you about Macy's? I'm about to go on stage and say, Donna, we're pulling your ties. I've known these guys for 30 years. They've golfed at my clubs. It's a great time. They're all dead to me.
I think my favorite part about that impression is that it started to slide into coffee talk.
He's got a little coffee. There's a little coffee talk to it. Because he's got that very easy New York, like flows like right into it. I'm not Jewish, but I have some of the aesthetic. I'll promise you this.
Yeah.
I kind of talk in a Jewish stereotype. When you look at the facts, that's what it says.
Yeah, he's a totally odd duck. I don't know what to think of him at all. Like I assume that he might actually be a cartoon. What Lucifer fell from heaven.
What? Yes, Lucifer.
Fell from heaven.
Yes.
Fell
Okay.
from heaven,
Sure.
Landed in
the morning
hell.
star. Yeah.
So what happens when a character falls? So he's Roger Rabbit, basically.
All right, I lost you. Somewhere between Lucifer and Roger Rabbit.
I'm sorry. There were several thoughts that went through my head.
We're still
that I
talking
didn't
about
really
Trump,
process.
right?
Yeah. Trump equals Roger Rabbit. No, better yet, Trump equals Judge Doom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm right about this one.
Okay.
This
All right,
is
go
another
ahead.
Spot on conspiracy. This is actually even better than the Bernie Sanders fooled you one.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. Judge Doom was already in power. Donald Trump.
I mean, so when he killed your brother, did he sound just like this?
He will.
I feel like that's my...
You laugh now, but wait until his second term.
That is...
when the cartoon shoe drops
so,
into the dip.
So that's another line that I really, really, really want to say. I want to drop in a general conversation, but A, I have no idea whether or not it'll play, and B, I just don't know. It would take such tremendous commitment, and I don't know where it would fit in. But it's one of my favorite reveals in movie history. We've had this conversation that Who Framed Roger Rabbit might be the best movie ever made. Right?
Yeah. The discussion was that you thought it was underrated, and I thought that it was not because it was well received and an incredible movie. But the outcome was that we both thought it was an awesome movie. But before we get too far away, the problem with that line and dropping it in a conversation is you're going to get the exact same reaction I got when I tried to make a reference to Home Alone, and someone in the back is going to shout, "You're old!"
Oh, during a Go game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what Home Alone reference did you make?
I don't know. Someone was doing The Scream, like Edvard Munch's The Scream, and I made a Macaulay Culkin joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're old.
Well, I mean, that's iconic. Like, people would do Singing in the Rain or something, right?
I'm totally happy with you defending me all day long. You do whatever you need to defend me.
That's disgusting. Whoever did that to you is disgusting, and they should feel bad about it. That's terrible. Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is so good. All right, let's get. All right, here's my big pitch.
Yeah.
We're warmed up. I'm just going to let you know, this might not be funny.
Right.
Right? This is
just
serious.
A great idea.
This is
it's
just
a Werther's Originals idea.
This is an amazing idea.
Yeah.
That somebody, so I had the idea. I texted it to my friend who is like the biggest TV fan that I know, right? She watches, still to this day, every year we'll watch every pilot.
Wow.
To give it a shot.
It's dedication.
Right? So ratings are in the shitter right now.
Uh-huh.
I think I heard a thing today on Marketplace that 27% of young men in the key demo just left the watching TV
in the last year.
Yeah, in the last year, 24% of young women. This shit is collapsing.
Yeah.
So they got to bring back these sure things to keep happy the people that are watching television. What if you did this? You have a year-long nomination process for bringing back in reruns as it originally aired a television show. So everybody nominates their favorite season. What's your favorite season of a television show?
Oh, I don't know. Let's say season 3 of MacGyver.
Okay. Season 3 of MacGyver. So everybody nominates. There's a big voting thing. You make it a big media thing where like, and now all of a sudden, all these old fucking TV stars, as soon as anybody's sniffing around, like you go to, the second lead in MacGyver on Twitter right now, and you're like, they should bring MacGyver back, and he'll fucking reply you, yeah, I know. Right?
Right.
They all want it.
Yeah.
So they're all pitching their own thing, like, bring back Taxi, bring back this, that. Although all these old shows probably don't work for what my actual idea is.
Okay.
One of them wins. Make a big deal. Stop pussyfooting around with this nostalgia shit.
Uh-huh.
Play reruns on prime time and make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you do a big, like a movie or a mini-series or something with the actors.
Like
a new one. Because people love that stuff. But you do limited run, 1 episode, 2 episode, 3 episodes. And basically, all that back catalog is a, like, infomercial for your one big thing that they're doing now anyway. With, like, the X-Files.
Right.
Like, why not, and this takes out the selection process, which I think is would be a huge win. And I promise you this. But why isn't Fox running the first season of the X-Files on Fridays?
Yeah.
And just be like, even if it draws poop ratings, right?
Yeah.
Just every commercial break, watch the X-Files coming back at, sometime in spring or something.
Or something. I think that's the problem, though, is that the ratings would be poop ratings, right? They would probably be lower than what you would get out of something new. Because here's the thing about the third season of MacGyver. Sucks!
Okay, no, but then you pick a critically acclaimed season. And maybe you get a council of critics.
Yeah.
You make it its own series where they debate. No, this is the best series.
See, I think all of that stuff would be higher rated than the actual thing. I think the biggest bump you'd get out of nominating all the shows and like drumming up some sort of viewership around that with like a Dancing with the Stars-esque kind of show where you actually see
it would be the most tweeted about thing every night that it's on.
Yeah, but I think once you start airing 22 episodes of a show everyone kind of forgot about, I bet the ratings on that are pretty low.
But compared to what?
Because you can get all of that anywhere, anytime, right now. Like, we can go get all of X-Files.
No, you plus it up. You air some of the original commercials or something. Like, you have some Chris Carter, like, when we were shooting this, David Duchovny really had to piss. It was really funny.
Because we wouldn't let him. We left him handcuffed to the bed the entire time.
We went to lunch.
I had no idea that's how Chris Carter talked.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Huh. I promise you this.
Live and learn. He's huge. So anyway, that's the whole pitch?
That's the idea.
That's the whole idea.
This thing should happen today.
All right. So sell me on how best to make this work, because I'm not convinced yet. What's the show that you think would play best with this idea? What would you nominate?
So it really would depend on the network, right? That would do it, because you would want one of those iconic shows that was like a monster hit.
All right, we'll work backwards from the monster hit. What's your choice?
So let's say Lost, first season of Lost.
Oh man, see, I think there's so much hatred for like everything that happened afterwards.
Well, it would
never win.
So here's what made me think of it.
Yeah,
they're doing that Heroes Reborn series, right?
Yeah,
and I was like, the only thing that is apparently of any, because they don't show any of the new characters in the commercials. It's just whenever there's a cameo. Yeah. So I'm watching Sunday Night Football, and all of a sudden it's horn-rimmed glasses guy and Hero, and he's like, "Good to see you, old friend." So that's probably their only scene in the show. They're not the main characters.
Horn-rimmed glasses guy is the main lead in the show.
He's the main lead.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's
the only one that came back. Minus like a cameo here and there.
Wait, Grunberg didn't come back? Grunberg was in...
But he hasn't... I have watched the episodes to date, and he has not been in it.
So the show's garbage?
Well, yeah, because I hate myself, and I keep watching it anyway.
Well, Hero's in the next episode. Spoiler alert.
I saw that.
But like, what
His
would...
sword plays a big part in it.
Okay, well, whatever. So here's the thing.
It's really bad.
What would the ratings be for that show if they just reran the first season of Heroes?
Yeah. I think it would be pretty bad. I think the knowledge, like everyone who loved it,
let's see
watched it
what
already,
those
right?
ratings are.
Okay. So, but here's the point, right? Everyone who loved it watched it already. If they want to rewatch it, they can. Nothing's stopping them from doing that right now. Like, yeah, you might be able to plus it up a little bit, but are you going to plus it up enough to make it appointment TV? Are you going to sell it so hard that the people that were that into it, that have already rewatched it once or twice before, are going to find a reason to be back?
I mean, maybe not. People are saying Firefly, Stargate.
Yeah, and like those people, who among us hasn't watched Firefly 3 times already? Like the people that care do it. They do it. Nothing's stopping them.
But if you could have a big communal experience, I mean, all of this is revolving around the idea that this would not work 5 years ago.
Right.
This only works in this toxic wasteland that we now know as television.
And I think the whole nomination
is bad and
process,
getting worse.
I think the whole nomination process is brilliant. Maybe the answer is not so much an entire season. Maybe it's like an episode or an episode arc or something. Maybe
Heroes
just
Reborn pulled a 1.4 share.
1 point rating, 4 share.
Or sorry, no, 1.25 share. 1.1 and 1/4, whatever.
It's a 4 share.
No, 4 million viewers.
No. It's a 4 share. It's a 1.1 rating.
1.1 rating and a 4 share. Sorry, you're right. 1.1.
Yeah.
That would be canceled immediately when Heroes initially ran. That's an anemic number that only now is tolerable that they'd still let it run.
Yeah.
And
also, how crazy is that like that show that bad can still get 4 million viewers?
Yeah, I don't.
TV is still a monster. Like even as anemic as it is, it's still a monster, or at least network TV. But anyway, like I like your idea. I like making a big bombastic show of trying to find everyone's favorite rerun or whatever. I think what would happen is you would have a
and
run
it on Fridays. Run it on a dead time. I mean, that's what 8 p.m. on Thursday pulled.
Yeah.
8 p.m. on Thursday on NBC.
Right.
Used to be the land of milk and honey.
Right. That's like Friends.
Right?
Yeah.
Like now it's drawing a 1.1 rating.
Right.
Like, so I guess my point is we're already at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Like, let's say
here's the thing.
Jack.
I think the misconception is that there is a bottom of the barrel. Like, there's always room to go down. So this is something new that's getting it. I think the move is, here's the move.
Yeah.
The season.
Yeah.
The entire season is this show where we pick a best episode or arc. So that runs for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then like week 3 or week 4 is like, all right, this month, one. We're watching these 2 episodes back to back in this 2-hour block on Friday afternoon, filled with like all of this plus up material. So like you run it for a half hour the first day of the month on Friday, a half hour the second Friday of the month, a half hour the third Friday of the month, and then the fourth Friday is a 2-hour block featuring 3 episodes of Seinfeld with all this deleted scenes, talk from the actors, commentary, the whole 9. And then the first Friday of the next month is back to nominations. Second Friday is back to like overview of this other stuff, and then the final Friday is another 2-hour block of a different show from NBC's past.
So you're saying you're strip programming this. This is like all week we're dealing with old television.
No. Like
in
it's
one
just
way or
Fridays.
another.
Just Fridays, but the season we actually care about is the show that is the nomination process and the like historical analysis of TV past, the mining of nostalgia, and then at the end of the month,
I think because
that's
the key.
Break.
The key here is that you need let's understand that the only people watching broadcast television are old and want to hear about old things because it makes them feel younger. So let's just go whole hog. Let's stop pussyfooting around.
Boss hog.
Yeah, and saying, oh, I don't know, we'll do heroes, but we'll mix in a few CW actors. Yep. No. Let's just watch Heroes again and remember, hey, remember 2005? Wow, that Iraq war was still a thing.
I think there is room to make it really interesting, though. Like, you can delve into the context of, like, why the third season of MacGyver featured so heavily in international relations or something.
You really got a boner for this third season of MacGyver.
Well, it's because I watched the first season not too long ago, and it was really, really bad, and I'm just hoping it got better at some point.
And it didn't?
Probably not.
Let's go ahead and read your emails. You can email in justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Also, if you run a network, just go ahead and just, @reply me on Twitter, Justin R. Young, and just say, yeah, you're brilliant. You can ignore Brett's ideas because, good, but, obviously.
Hey.
Anonymous Diamond writes in, hey, Justin, I really don't care for going out and being in social situations for extended periods, even with my best friend in the world. I desperately need some alone time after a few hours. I moved away after high school, and I just started my last year of college. I still text with my best friend from high school on a daily basis, but besides him, I hardly talk to anyone else. I have friendly relationships with my roommates and people from class, but I never hang out with them. I've never had sex or even kissed someone. I've gone out to bars and hung out with people in the past, but I've never had a good time. I always seem to have more fun going out and doing things by myself. Am I missing out on something by not going out with other people all the time? I feel perfectly happy by myself, but should I keep putting myself in these social situations until something finally clicks? At what point should I stop banging my head against the wall and accept that I'm just a cool dude who likes being alone? Thanks. Now I'm going to wait to read this PS because this PS takes a bit of a weird turn. So what do you think?
Hold on. Let me check my email real quick and make sure I didn't write this. Yeah. Oh, no, this is someone else.
Look at that.
Huh, go figure.
My initial thought is that he's, he seems comfortable. He doesn't seem to be writing in wanting me to tell him, no, you gotta go out.
Yeah.
I
agree with that. But I would also say that the question in this email is, am I missing out?
Yes.
And the answer to that is yes. Yes, you're missing out. You may not be missing out on what you think you're missing out on, but the more new, interesting things you try out, the more likely you're going to run into something you really enjoy. So
that's a key, though.
Yeah.
New and interesting things.
Yeah.
And those you can do by yourself.
Yeah, totally.
And I think what he's talking about is hanging out with my friends. My friends go out, and they're like, hey, come with. And he goes to the bar, and it's boring, and he hates it, and he leaves.
Yeah, but I think if you continue to do... So there's two ways to approach being alone, right? You can be alone doing the same old stuff over and over again, or you can be alone happy with yourself doing interesting things. And it does sound like he's happy with himself being alone. But I also think that it's really easy to get caught in a rut when you're doing stuff alone and doing the same stuff alone over and over again. And I think that is going to lead to missing out more than not doing things with friends.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to this PS. My best friend from high school, again, the same guy.
Yeah. PS, postscript.
My best friend from high school is bi and is coming to visit me in a few weeks. I feel like I'm getting some let's fuck vibes from him over text. You think we should hook up? I mean, we're millennials. Well, we're all bisexual, right?
I feel like he answered his own question.
Who the fuck is this guy?
You don't write
that. I mean,
let me
also again remind everybody that he wrote, I've never had sex or kissed someone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's lying.
Yeah.
Right? But okay. Let's break this down.
Uh-huh.
He's never had sex or even kissed somebody. He's getting let's fuck. Number one, if you've never had sex or even kissed somebody,
How do you know?
How are you sniffing out let's fuck vibes from
Yeah.
your friend?
Maybe his friend texted him, "Hey, when I come over, let's fuck."
I mean, that's not a vibe.
I mean, for someone that's never kissed or had sex with someone, that might be a pretty strong vibe.
I mean, what do you think that would be? What would be, like, if you had a bisexual high school friend
Yeah.
that was coming to stay with you?
And it's a vibe, but not an overt ask.
Yeah, and a vibe, but not an overt ask.
Hey, when I come in town next week, let's make some strawberry shortcake with the whipped cream on top, because I would really like to lick the whipped cream out of the back of your throat.
That's not a vibe.
LOL.
Hey, just kidding. JK.
Wink.
I guess that would be a vibe.
Yeah.
Like direct sexual joke.
Yeah.
JK, aha, LOL.
That would be crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would think the vibe would be, hey, I'm coming to visit. Hope I get laid that weekend. Right? Like just something like that. Like,
P.S. Do
oh,
you have a
let's-
spare bedroom, or are we sharing?
something like, let's go party. We're totally gonna, like, you know, other people, right? Me, a guy. You, girl. Like that would be fishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like this guy wants to bang his friend.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you don't write that question if you don't know what you want the answer to be.
Yeah. I feel like that's, yeah. I feel like he's going to be, it's fine. Anonymous Diamond, don't worry. You're allowed to fuck your friend. It's a free country. And
Also, you should just try licking whipped cream out of the back of the guy's throat and see
that's
where it goes from
weird.
there.
I don't even know where that even came from.
I
You're
think I
weird.
really just want strawberry shortcake.
Okay, well, do it at your own house. John writes, hey, JuRY, I just listened to your What Do You Want to Do piece. When I quit my job, I knew that I would be making less money to go full-time into our business. To grow the business, I needed to make that sacrifice. It also wasn't certain that we would be making more money by doing that any faster than if I had stayed working full-time. The biggest positive change, however, was in the mental health, if not only myself, but also my wife. I just had a conversation with an employee that I hated, that what are going to school for questions because it always assumed that you knew exactly what you wanted to do with your life at age 18. I don't quite understand that sentence. I quit a job that was paying me a salary better than my friends who had 4-year degrees, and I don't have one. Who knows if that was the right decision? I don't care if it was or wasn't. I needed to make the change. I'm happy with the change. Fuck anyone who disagrees.
That was a statement.
Yeah, that wasn't really a question. Although I guess he was just answering. So I had this conversation because I've been having a lot of these conversations recently where people have asked me, what do I want to do with my life?
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked that to the people. And I think, you know, it's a very personal kind of question because it kind of reveals personality types, right? There's the planner and the not planner. I'm definitely the not planner.
Uh-huh.
You know, or at least like I like to keep a very loose plan. I like to keep a lot of options. So it's like when people ask me like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, give that to me like a locked room mystery. Like, you know, there's some rope on the floor and, you know, there's a ticker tape machine and, you know, a parrot flying around. Like, all right, well, here we go. If I have these ingredients, then I would like to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but just to, you know, say like the pie in the sky, like, what would you like to do? I don't know. Be Zeus. Like to change into a boar and have sex with villagers. Like,
I think I would like to be one of the Coen brothers. I think, is that a thing? Like when you grow up, you get to be one of the Coen brothers?
now that is a reality show.
Yeah.
The winner gets to be a Coen brother.
Yeah. Like, and then the brothers, it's Joel and Ethan, right? They have to compete also because one of them's going to get kicked out.
One of them's out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Did you see the trailer for the new
It's
one?
going to get way better ratings than a rerun of MacGyver season 3.
You and the fucking MacGyver. Did you see the trailer for Hail
I
Caesar?
did. Yeah.
I'm
So in.
It's my favorite movie.
I'm always in. I'm always in. It doesn't matter. I like Joel and Ethan Coen. It's just like Pixar. You're like, fuck, talking fish? I don't know. Let's go see how they make that cool.
Like, I was in on the premise. Like, I had heard that they were shooting it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be great. But what sold me on the trailer was all the stars having, like, golden age equivalent careers.
Right.
Like Scarlett Johansson, like, as, like, the diving beauty queen lady, and Channing Tatum being, like, the dancing sailor guy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, these all track. This is all, like, George Clooney, the drunk, leading man who could barely get out of his own way. So fucking good.
I can't wait.
So John, hey, listen, man, keep rocking in the free world. I had this question about the Pope, Brett. I asked, because the Pope came to America. A lot of atheists, a lot of my atheist friends love the Pope. We're in this weird place where my religious friends don't like the Pope.
Yeah.
My atheist friends love the Pope.
Yeah.
Really weird. Because the atheists aren't going to church, the religious people are.
Yeah.
But then there was this thing that the Pope met with Kim Davis, the lady that didn't, give the gay marriage thing. And then all of a sudden all the atheists were upset. And I was like, what do you want from the Pope?
Yeah.
He's the Pope.
Right?
Like, there's always going to be a difference in opinion here. So I asked, what do people want from the Pope?
Yeah.
Kevin writes it. Just heard you ask about the Pope. First, I'd like to be upfront and say I'm Catholic, so my opinion is one-sided. To your question, what an atheist wants from the Pope, it's probably the same thing I want, which is for him to keep the uptight assholes calm and let people of all creed live their life the way that they want, as long as you don't hurt anyone while doing it. So that's like a really cool credo.
Yeah.
For living life.
Yeah.
Right?
For anyone.
For anyone.
And it's also shockingly agnostic of religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
He's running a business.
Yeah.
The business of Catholicism. And business has been better.
Right.
So, like, there is an element of bottom line to this. Right?
That's interesting. Do you think that's why they are so against prophylactics? Like, they're in it for business? Like, it's not about like, hey, look, seriously, God said don't do that. They're like, hey, seriously, we need to get the numbers up.
I mean, like, that's been said.
Huh.
That's certainly something that's been mentioned before. That, more people equals mo Catholics. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think Kevin, that's a great idea. That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
But also, it's like that's kind of unrealistic for the Pope. Like that can't actually be the Pope's. That could be a guiding ethos within himself, but that can't be his job as the Pope. His job as the Pope is to maintain.
Well,
Catholicism.
If it's all that, and then like ... convert people, then it's right in there.
Because he's got, I feel like he's buttering all these atheists up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like all these atheists.
Spring the trap.
All these atheists.
Like, you like science? Oh, you like this climate talk? Why don't you step into my booth and tell me what you did wrong?
It's like, I got a great place where we talk about all that.
Yeah.
It's called church. They're like, what? Maybe he'll rename it. It'll be like
Catholicism. Wow.
Yeah. It'll be like, yo, come to Coffee McCool. They're like, what's that? Oh, it's just a place we meet.
Sunday fun day.
Oh yeah, dude. And it's like, hey man, like, anyway, like, listen, the Catholic Church is always going to be there for the people that it's there for.
Like he tweets out like, hey, thinking about rapping about some of the new shit going on this Sunday. # Sunday fun day. See you there. Pope.
Pope. P-O-P-E.
Yeah.
You know where my money be. I'm the Pope. Anthony writes, I've been a fan for years, so shut up and read for 30 seconds before listening to last week's episode. If you'd asked why I listened to your podcast, I would have told you that it was because you are entertaining and intelligent. Admittedly, both those attributes are occasionally missing from your podcast, and I'm okay with that. Jesus. But it is these two attributes I would have listed as my reasons for listening and recommending your podcast. This all changed during your last episode, however. You fucked up at that transition. So I'm going to pause the thing. And
He said shut up and just read for 30 seconds.
I know, but I got to explain to you what he's talking about. So I told this very heartfelt story about coverage in disasters because there was a shooting and there was I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think it was a shooting in Oregon where there was this minor blow up on Twitter because people were screen grabbing from people who were there at the shooting. They were like, oh my God, there's shootings happening. And all their replies were TV stations saying hey, can you follow us back so we can DM you and find out what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And so a lot of people spread that around and they're gross. And so I told my own story of the first day I ever had as a professional journalist where I came into work. I had gotten hired the night before. It was 9/11. And the first thing I had to do was call numbers that we had of alumni that worked in the Pentagon and the World Trade Center and find out if they were dead.
Yeah.
So I had to call, at worst, grieving families. And if not, people that didn't know where their loved ones were, whether or not they were dead.
Yeah.
So I could mark them down on a tally of whether or not they were missing or dead. Because as a Syracuse interest-serving thing, this is the kind of stuff that people who are interested and connected to the school would be happy to read if we could confirm that they were alive. Right. And so after all that, and this is a long story. This goes for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I kind of slow down and I have, some kind of touching little, and that's, you realize that it's not just a job, it means something more important and it's a ghoulish profession, but ultimately it was pretty important. iPhone 6 reviews coming up next.
And was that literal?
Yes. And I played that transition. And then the rest of the show was basically just me lamenting what a fuckhead I was for making that transition. And so that's what he's talking about. This all changed during the last episode, however. You fucked up that transition. It was neither funny nor particularly appropriate for the podcast. It was, in short, a failure, except that it wasn't. It was exactly why I listened. It was you sharing emotion, telling a story, exposing yourself to your audience, reaching out and giving us a part of you, and it was human and raw and unforgivingly direct. It was exactly why I bothered to listen to the JuRY podcast. Transition be damned, fuck transitions, be you, and thank you for the stories, Anthony, who is Ethan Kane, and he was one of the guys that printed out all the contender cards and then cut little rounded edges on them too. It was super awesome. And finally, Matthew. Matthew writes, Dear Justin, I've listened to your last podcast, and the questions that you've been asked a lot is one that I have been asked very frequently recently also. I've been working in Afghanistan for the past 10 years now, or just about, and I've come to the decision that at the end of this year, I'm going to leave. One of the first questions I'm asked is what I'm going to do now, and most of the time I say, I don't know, which is true. But I have several ideas on what and where I can go. But then again, nothing is set in stone. I don't think there's a magic answer or a golden zone, which you mentioned. I think that what's next or what you're going to do isn't a right or wrong. There is just no such thing as too much or too little. Oh yeah, work in the normal world after working overseas in a war zone for the last 10 years is scary as fuck. Let's go ahead and process that sentence.
Yeah.
Going to work in the normal world after working overseas in a war zone is scary as fuck. Now, I'm not saying that that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's how we see it, bro. Then you have something in common.
Yeah.
Because people will be just as scared of where you came from as you are scared of where you are coming.
Yeah. That is the universal truth, is that the unknown or the thing you're not used to is what is always scariest. So might I recommend trying to become one of the Coen brothers?
Hey, listen, there's always that.
Mm-hmm.
You can email the show, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Make sure you put JuRY in the subject line, JURY.
Justin.
Yeah.
I propose we call it Coen Goin'.
No, that's got to be the segment.
Because one of the brothers is leaving. And then you come. Coen Goin'.
Well,
and then you step in.
I feel like that should
look.
be the
Maybe
final
you're not
episode.
getting it. Maybe you're not getting it. So, it's 2 parts to the show, right?
Okay.
One part is that someone else gets to be a Coen brother. And the
That's
other
fine.
part...
Keep going.
And the other part is that one of the other Coen brothers gets kicked out.
Yeah.
So we call it Coen Goin'.
Okay. No, you really didn't explain
It's
anything.
weird. It's weird. Maybe you're not getting it.
Yeah.
Let me try again.
What do you got going on? What can you direct people to?
Go check out Mission Pick, of course. At Mission Pick on Twitter, or download Mission Pick for iPhone, and some other surprises soon. Not Android yet. Get off the balls. But some other stuff coming up.
Did you? That was public, the TV thing?
It was a thing.
You put it on the internet, though, right?
I did put it on the internet. Yeah, I don't know what I was
Can you
thinking.
describe what you put on the internet?
Sure. Well, yeah. Basically, we are going to be launching a Apple TV version of Mission Pick. It is a stripped down version of Mission Pick. It's as much for advertising as anything else. But the exciting thing about this version of Mission Pick is that you won't need a account to view it. Like, you can create an account, you can sign in, but you'll just be you'll be able to see large HD versions of everyone's photos and the winning photos of every day.
They won't let you make it a screensaver, would they?
I don't know that they just released the Apple SDK. The only reason we have it at all is because our developer won a lottery to get one of the first SDK kits.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's so good.
He is.
Go ahead and check out Mission Pick if you're not familiar with what it is. New mission every day.
Mm-hmm.
You take a picture. There's an amazing community there.
Yeah, it's great.
Like that's what I'm always continually impressed by, is like there's like memes and like internal like back and forth and like a set of standards and ethics by like this very, very dedicated group, which is like,
and they're all
so
like
awesome.
Shockingly nice to each other too. Like, you come in as a complete stranger and immediately people are leaving comments on your photo to just like help you learn to work the system better.
Yeah. So cool. So go ahead. Mission Pick on iOS, and Android is going to be coming in the next 2 weeks. So if it's not there, then
just keep
at
checking.
Reply at
Keep
Amtrekker
checking.
and ask him, when's Android, with 4 question marks. Just kidding. It's never coming, so suck it up.
It'll come eventually.
Anything else?
No, that's all you need to worry about.
That's
You
the
don't
big
need a split thing. Yeah.
Any movies you're excited about for the winter?
For the winter?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jobs. Have you seen Jobs yet?
No, not yet.
Maybe we'll do that right now.
Could probably walk out and go see Jobs.
That's let's see, what else is coming up? Good
I feel,
Dinosaur.
I feel like Jobs, and I said this on Weird Things, I feel like Jobs is going to be the best Aaron Sorkin biopic about Aaron Sorkin ever.
We can only hope.
I just feel like, cause it's like,
what do you own in the draft? I haven't really done my homework.
I own Jobs,
Mm-hmm.
which is not expanding to theaters fast enough for my liking. And then I own the 33, the Chilean miners story.
Yeah.
I own Creed,
Oh.
which is really the only movie that I think that can
Could be breakout.
overperform.
Yeah.
And then the Chipmunks on the Chip Road to Chiptown movie. And I forget. I think something else.
I like Michael B. Jordan. I feel like he's right on the cusp of either being
Krampus. I also own the Krampus movie.
Oh.
The horror movie about
The
Krampus.
horror comedy.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Well, whatever.
Camorra.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. I feel like he's right on the cusp of either being Taylor Kitsch or Chris. What's his name? Pratt. Like, he's right.
Far more. He's way more Pratt.
he would love to be way more Pratt, but he's also the guy that was in Fantastic Four and the guy that was in what was the last movie he did too that kind of bombed?
No one blames him for Fantastic Four.
No. I don't think anyone like blamed Taylor Kitsch for like Battleship and
No, they blamed
the
him
other
for
Carter. Carter.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Because that was a star vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, they'll blame Michael B. Jordan if Creed underperforms.
Right.
Because that's a franchise that has an audience, and if that doesn't do well,
Yeah.
or at least if it's not well reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Although the trailer looks great.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
I don't care how many times they told the Rocky story. Just keep telling the Rocky story. I loved it in all the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
I loved it in Real Steel.
In Real Steel, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. He's got to face some stuff, and then someone's going to tell him some bromides, and then he's going to work harder, and then he's going to knock down, and it's going to be like, and then there's going to be some gritty realism in there where someone's going to he's going to sit down for dinner and then realize that he's short and he has to like stiff the waitress even though he went to high school with her. Like, it's like some some like
oddly specific things.
Just a lot of stuff like that, right? Like, that'd be a scene in a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
Like, and then like he loses at the end, but you're like, but you did so good.
Yeah. You did so much better than we expected you to, and that's really all that matters.
It's Rocky, a lesson in expectations. And also, it's just that, like, no matter what, Stallone can never not play Rocky.
Yeah.
Like, even as he gets older, it's better.
I told you I rewatched Rambo First Blood recently, right?
It's a movie of its age.
Oh, man, that would never play today.
No. That one would have a few problemos. Yeah, there's a reason why they had to drop, like, in the reboot that they had to drop him like in like deep behind like enemy lines and have like no real overt political things. It's just like Rambo
a version
killing
of Rocky
people
or a version of Rambo where he isn't murdering police officers in America.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. You can find this podcast on Stitcher, iTunes, or any RSS catcher. Email me at justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Of course, Twitter and Instagram and Periscope. Follow at JuRY's Cough, which I'm sure will be a Twitter account as soon as this episode is done. Twitter and Instagram, Periscope is at JustinRYoung, and hashtag join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. For my friend Brett Rounceville, if you find yourself trying to figure out how to repurpose old reruns, if you find yourself asking your high school pal whether or not they are DTF, if you find yourself scared because you have to work in Hamilton, Ontario instead of Kabul, well, friends, remember at your darkest hours that my name is Justin Robert Young, his is Brett the Amtrekker Rounceville, and we are both pleading for you to please show.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.